Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional, and coaching related paradigm. We try to do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We try to be here consistently, and we've got over 800 audios available for your listening pleasure on a variety of topics. We'll continue our life lessons series. This is number 28 in the series. So lessons that life tries to teach you is basically things we talk about. Conceptually, it's just things that matter. And if you're trying to get more out of your life, these four things are super valuable for a number of reasons. So care more about progress than destination. And for the clients of mine who are listening to this right now, you've heard me say this before, and you're probably laughing because I say it so much in session. But the reality is, where you're going doesn't nearly matter as much as the progress mindset that's going to get you there. So as long as you are committed to making some progress on a day-to-day basis, some progress every day, every week, every month, and before you know it, progress becomes what you're focused on rather than the actual goal. Because here's two things that cause goal setting without a progress mindset to be problematic. The first is if you set a goal and it doesn't fulfill you, if you set a goal and it becomes disappointing, or it isn't what you expected, or it isn't what you wanted, or it isn't what you thought you needed, then where do I go from here? Where if you set a goal, you hit it, but you always have something else to progress onto, you're going to feel better and you're going to rebound quicker if something is disappointing. The second thing is progress mindset also will give you the ability to maybe I stumbled back, I went a little sideways, I lost my way for a minute, but I can always come back to progress. If you're making your life about pass fail, hey, I'm not married, therefore I failed. Hey, I don't have this new job, therefore I failed. Then the goal becomes almost the enemy in the sense of I haven't got it yet, therefore I'm less than, and it's gonna wire your mind towards a negative bias, which ultimately makes your life in achieving goals in general harder. So if progress mindset is at the center of all you do, then you become super valuable. So the next is make time for your hobbies, but also when you can, make money from your hobbies, or at least look at ways to monetize that time or focus on that time and expanding it in such a way that if you needed extra income, if you need a side hustle, try to use the things you're naturally good at. So many times people go, I need a new job. No, you just need a different way to use the skills you already have. Every single one of us probably has at least 3 to 5 things that we could use to make a little extra money if we need it in an emergency situation, or to give ourselves more financial freedom. But we don't necessarily think of the ways that we are interested in things that can help us out. Now, it's not going to make us a multimillionaire unless it's a really good idea or unless it's a fleshed out business, but that doesn't mean it can't make us some grocery money or money for utilities or money to help with rent or whatever. And it's not even the money that matters. It's the freedom that the power of creation creates that leads to the increase in financial stability. The next is you have to learn how to sell things or services or your skill set. And so, look, every conversation we have, we're trying to sell something. And a lot of people are uncomfortable with that, but it's the reality of human interaction. If you're going on a date, you're trying to sell yourself as a good partner. If you're going on a job interview, you're trying to sell yourself as a good candidate for the prospective position. If you're, out meeting a new person, you're trying to sell yourself as a good friend. So the better we become as at sales, and realizing that sales isn't a dirty word. It's salesmanship that becomes dirty if we're only interested in what we can gain instead of what we can give. Sales is about the 2 G's, gain and give. What do I gain and what do I give? And when gain and give are in balance with each other, then salesmanship is used correctly. When gain is more important, that's where it can be abused, and people can get kind of slimy and grimy and less than friendly. The next is always be updating your skill set, whether that's through reading, whether that's through audio, whether that's through seminars, whether that's through things like this, whether that's through working with somebody one-on-one in a coaching setting, whatever it is. Always daily be setting aside at least a quarter hour. I prefer a half hour to an hour, but at least a quarter hour to learn something, because you're going to make yourself obsolete if you're not a student of life. And so the more you're willing to be a student, the more opportunities you give yourself to be relevant. And relevancy, especially in today's day and age, is one of the most important things we can have. When we become irrelevant, it's very hard to become relevant again. But if we never become irrelevant because we're always ahead of the trends, the easier it becomes for our lives to become more manageable and powerful. So hopefully that's helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.